U.S. 1642 The 10th of February 2018 Get short URL U.S. President Donald Trump refused to respond to a female journalist's question about the FBI investigation into Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh, having dismissed it as irrelevant due to the newly sealed trade deal that prompted the news conference in the first place. During a news conference on the revamped U.S.-Canada-Mexico trade agreement, Donald Trump made an attempt to joke about a White House reporter for ABC News, Cecilia Vega, who raised her hand to ask him a question. While it took a few seconds before the mic was passed to her and she finally rose from her seat, Trump suggested that she was shocked that he had picked her. Read more. U.S., Mexico, Canada reach new trade deal to replace NAFTA. She replied by saying, "I'm not. Thank you, Mr. President," and Trump, having apparently misheard "thank you" as thinking, hit back, "I know you're not thinking. You never do." Trump to woman reporter, "She's shocked I picked her. She's in a state of shock." Reporter, "I'm not. Thank you, Mr. President." Trump, "I know you're not thinking. You never do." Reporter, "I'm sorry." Trump, "Go ahead. This is institutionalized misogyny." pic.twitter.com/y31 Web 4i Shannon Watts at Shannon or Watts 1 October 2018 G. Vega made an attempt to ask him a question about the FBI investigation of sexual assault allegations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh, but Trump said that the presser was about trade. Read more. Kavanaugh testimony may haunt him as Supreme Court Justice. She later alluded to the exchange with POTUS in a tweet. A White House transcript is now alleging that Donald Trump replied, "not thinking," which, as many social media users have observed, doesn't make any sense. While some argued whether Vega was saying "thank you" or thinking, it sounded like she said "thinking," not thinking. Doesn't change how utterly offensive his comment was. Momo at Momo 2 October 2018 G. No, on video it's clear Isabel said thank you. At Zeroneafim 2 October 2018 G. She says, "I'm not thinking." As she tries to get the mic, he says, "I know you're not thinking. You never do." Her response of "I'm sorry" shows that she understood his slight. Watch the video. For anyone to claim that the two of them said thinking is preposterous. Canada at Easy 2. Slip 2 October 2018 G. Many lashed out at Trump for insulting the female journalist and being disrespectful towards women on the whole. Way to go, Cecilia, for handling the situation like a professional. He was unnecessarily unkind and wrong in that situation. That wasn't the press mocking the press, that was rude behavior to a woman for no reason. Justin Matt's mom at Stacier 43 2 October 2018 G. He is so rude and condescending to women. Donna Fitzgerald at DonFitz 1948 2 October 2018 G. As women, we have all heard that dismissive, condescending tone used on us before. We recognize it for what it is. We hear the GOP and Trump loud and clear. We will use our annoying, brazen voices to vote. Chris Belmont at Chris Belmont 9 2 October 2018 G. This is why men think they can humiliate and degrade women. Our pres does it, and his PPL behind him thinks it's funny. Nor, Pazza Catalonia, at Passion for Recom 2, 1 October 2018 G. pic.twitter.com/NewRgKerp, Donnie Sipes, at Dana Sipes, 1 October 2018 G. Others praised Vega for keeping her cool despite Trump's jab. Bless you, Cecilia, for keeping your cool and composure. That exchange was awful and Trump's a bully acting out. Great job keeping your focus. Misunderstood Ninja, Wu-Tang name, aka Teresa, at Boysowich, 1 October 2018 G. You go girl, Polly H, at Polya666, 1 October 2018 G. Some, however, defended the president, saying that the press had no respect for him and that the conference was meant to address the trade deal, not Kavanaugh's case. Bully? This was his news conference on trade. Why didn't she ask a question on trade? That's why they were there. She should have waited, but no, she had to be rude to try to move to a different subject. High-heeled shoe Lorraine cocktail glass, at Soft Hearts, 1 October 2018 G. I totally agree. The media has no respect. Of course she didn't want to talk about trade. I'm tired of watching the majority of our media work for the Democratic Party. Lisa M. Shaw, Adams and PVB, 1 October 2018 G. You looked foolish asking a question about Kavanaugh when it was a trade PC. Maybe the press should pretend to be polite, and they'll get the same treatment. Face with rolling eyes, Tony Smith, at Bob Naismith, 1 October 2018 G. Sure, and it doesn't have to be answered on your schedule. The presser was about trade, at POTUS was very polite and said he'd do Kavanaugh after trade, but you want to change the narrative. Peggy McLean, at Red Wildcat, 1 October 2018 G. And under the same amendment he can refuse to answer your question unless it was related to the topic of the speech in the Rose Garden. On October 1, the United States, Canada and Mexico reached a new trade agreement, dubbed USMCA, thus replacing NAFTA, a cornerstone in the trilateral relations. The new deal is expected to be signed in 60 days. Tags: trade agreement, press conference, journalist, scandal, reporter, female, woman, Brett Kavanaugh, Donald Trump, Mexico, Canada, United States.